This is what I extracted to share with everyone from a journal of South China Morning Post in 2021. In China, many parents have said that the gaming addiction problem among teens and children has gravely affected their ability to learn and study, as well as their physical and mental health. Undoubtedly, having an addiction to anything is not good for people's physical and mental health. However, in China, parents seem to put an equal sign between gaming and gaming addiction and claim that gaming gravely affects their children's ability to learn and health. To find out how this claim was made, let's look back at the history of the Chinese gaming industry. As early as 2000, an article titled "Computer Games Are Electronic Drugs Targeting Children" was published in the national-level newspaper Guangming Daily. In that era of relatively closed or one-way information and newspapers as mainstream media, lacking extensive verification and discussion, parents and educators reached a tacit understanding and consensus that not only did they place electronic games on the opposite side of studying, but they also ideologically classified electronic games and drugs together. In the past 23 years, with the development of the Internet, electronic games have evolved from personal entertainment activities to online games with social attributes. During this period, parents and educators have been pressuring the government to legislate to control the time spent playing online games for minors. Online gaming time for children has been restricted from none at the beginning to 1.5 hours per day during the week and 3 hours per day on weekends. In 2021, at the time of the South China Morning Post journal that shared at the beginning, the online gaming time of minors was limited to only 1 hour per day on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and other official holidays. All online game registrations require real name authentication by IDs. This regulation has once again received widespread support from parents and educators, but what are the facts indeed? The facts are many children use their parents', especially grandparents' information to register by their allowance, but even worse cases are some children steal their parents' or grandparents' ID and credit cards to play games. Moreover, due to the regulation, many parents feel safe without games for their children and allow them to have mobile phones with them all the time. And like parents, many teachers at school do not educate and monitor the usage of mobile phones by students since they believe they cannot play games on their phones at school time. Lastly, retaliatory playing and spending in adulthood occur among students who have just started university or college and young people who have just started working. At the beginning of launching the regulation in 2021, children were more to be seen chasing each other and playing balls at playgrounds in the communities after school, like in the 80s and 90s. However, later, they found their new way that there was no restriction on video platforms like TikTok. The online gaming time was transferred to online streaming and other social media, and it made the parents and educators complain again. And guess what happens next? While this project was prepared, on September 23, 2023, China's government launched the new regulations on the network protection of minors starting from 2024 to regulate minors, not just gaming, but potentially all online activities. It is positive that government regulations standardize the industry and strengthen supervision, but is it the right approach to simply limit children's gaming and online time? Have any children gone astray due to electronic games and internet addiction? Of course, yes, but are electronic games and the internet really the fundamental reasons that have led them to the dead end? Have parents who view electronic games and the internet as formidable beasts reflected on their own education to their children and set an example of values for them? Many parents do not learn about electronic games and even disdain to learn about them. Such attitudes may be the mainstream sentiment of this era and also the root cause of biases and conflicts between two generations. As parents, have we tried to overcome those biases and understand what and why our children like before completely denying them? An old Chinese saying that goes, wishing for a son to become a dragon. Do parents realize that in such expectations, they should provide corresponding emotional and intellectual support to their children and, more importantly, the time spent with them? Fortunately, in the latest regulations, the term family has eventually been mentioned, indicating that the government has begun to realize the significant impact of the family on this phenomenon. However, among the 60 regulations totaling over 8,000 words, family has only been mentioned 8 times, and the number of words parents is 0. In addition to parents' self-reflection, we also need relevant government departments to provide practical and constructive guidance to parents on how to view electronic games and social media platforms, how to accompany children in gaming and online activities, and how to guide them to learn from playing games and obtain helpful information online. In this way will our children be truly protected, and they can play, learn, and grow healthily in games and online.